Hi, my name is Josh Adams. I'm an athletic trainer, program director for the Student Athlete Foundation of Kansas City. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about specialization in sports and overuse injuries in sports. First off, I'll talk about some overuse injuries with the adolescent sports. Adolescent sports, a lot of the adolescent bodies are still growing. Like I said, they're not fully formed, they're not mature yet. So what happens a lot is these kids that are training at a high intensity, they start getting kind of some aches and pains. Now, as an athletic trainer, we try to work with these athletes and differentiate between what is actually an injury and what is actually soreness. Soreness is okay. You want to be sore after workouts and practices. Injuries are completely different. I said, and what happens, we talk with these athletes extensively about overuse injuries, because whenever they start training at a high intensity, they can actually overwork muscle groups, tendons, ligaments, and bones. What we talk with them about a lot is how to handle that soreness, and if it does turn into an injury. Soreness, like I said, is okay. That means the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments are starting to adapt to the training. Whenever it can't adapt and you're starting to train too much and not give that body enough recovery time, that's what we consider an overuse injury. To prevent overuse injuries, I said there's a lot of things that you can do. The training technique is a big thing. We talk with the athletes and the coaches. Training properly, proper techniques in running form, overhead throwing athletes. Like I said, it's just that repetitive overhead throwing that can cause overuse injuries as well. A lot of time, proper rehab, and working on proper technique will definitely save with these overuse injuries. Next, I'll talk about a little bit of a specialization between sports. A lot of times specialization in sports and overuse injuries kind of go hand in hand. Again, the adolescent bodies are still growing, maturing. What happens in these bodies is the body can take a lot of stress and get used to the amount of intensity and workout and things that that the athletes are putting on the body. What that's called is remodeling. Remodeling is whenever your body is adapting to the stress you're putting on it. So remodeling happens in bone, muscle, tendon, and ligaments. The fine line between that is, in specialization in sports, are playing a lot of sports whenever you're young. And I said a lot of people talk about this. It's kind of a hot topic, is, are too many sports for a young athlete bad? And I don't believe it is. Like I said, these young bodies are growing, they're adapting to change. So when you're playing a lot of different sports, upper extremity sports, lower extremity sports, contact sports, non-contact sports, the body is adapting to that. You're working different muscle groups. If you're just primarily sticking to one sport, which is what's happening a lot, like I said, you're starting to see in some special programs, AAU type of stuff, parents, thinking their kid's going to be the next LeBron James or that big draft pick. They really get stuck on playing one sport, or trying to get their kid to train exclusively for that one sport so they get better at that sport. Well, practice does make perfect, but in an adolescent athlete, you want to be diverse in the sports you're playing. Like I said, it's working on different muscle groups, strengthening those muscle groups. So if you're just playing, say, baseball, for example, and you're spending all your time and effort on, as a pitcher, throwing, trying to work, day in, night out on perfecting that craft, that's where the specialization turns into that overuse injury. So like I said, it's very common to see both whenever you start seeing those specialized athletes playing one sport. Tend to get these overuse injuries that turn into more of an injury and not just soreness.